Hey everyone, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here saying, hey, thanks for dropping by. As always, I appreciate the time you spend with me. This episode is going to be Atlas Earth themed, and it is going to cover two of the biggest questions that I get, and it is pretty good timing as we're going into the new year. The first question is, what is Atlas Earth? Okay, I have a big video about this that's really long. It's almost an hour long that I'll link after the video, and I will put in the show notes. If you are interested in finding out the details about the game or platform, as you will, and you're interested in jumping in, once again, please use my referral code you can find in the show notes. If you do decide you want to start playing, that'll get you 200 free Atlas bucks when you hit your 11th parcel. Gets me 100 as well, so it's a win-win situation. Okay, so that's the first question. But in this episode, we're going to just answer it very bluntly and not take a lot of time. And like I said, if you want further information, check that video out. Now, the second part of the second question is going to be, is Atlas Earth worth playing in 2025? So if this sounds interesting to you, please stand by. Okay, right up front before we get started, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. And if you want to be notified when I drop a new Atlas Earth video, remember to click the bell. Okay, let's jump in. What is Atlas Earth? I started playing about 9 months ago, and I've been covering it on this channel ever since. When I first started, the biggest question that I got was, is Atlas Earth a scam? And in fact, I did a video on that early on, and it's probably one of my most watched videos at this point. Okay, so I'm going to cut to the chase, and obviously, if I've been playing it 9 months later, it's not a scam. In my opinion, it's not a scam. Now, there are some things about the game that I would be wary of. That there are some things, just like any game, that your money is better spent on or not spent on. So, but as far as a direct answer to, is it a scam? It's not a scam. So if it's not a scam, what is it? Okay, at this point, Atlas Earth, I consider a play to earn platform. And why I say platform, the game is about collecting land, buying land with Atlas bucks, which you earn in-game for participating in various activities. Okay, you take those Atlas bucks you earn, and then you turn around and you buy land plots. The more land plots and the higher rarity those land plots you buy and accumulate over time, the more virtual rent you earn. Okay, and as your virtual rent ticks up on a second by second and minute by minute basis over the day, you can, after that rent gets to $5 or above, you can remove that and you can do whatever you want with it. It can go to PayPal, it can go to your bank account, you can get a gift card to Amazon, or whatever else you want to do with it. There's a lot of different ways you can remove the money from the game. Okay, that's the pay to earn or play to earn type aspect. Okay, but where this game started was, and we're on the map. The new it was released last month, so it's relatively new. But you can go on the Atlas Earth website and log into your account, and you can check the map. And if you're looking at different locations around the world, you can see what's going on as far as Atlas Earth. So we're right over the Washington, D.C. area. I just pulled up randomly. But you can see these different little boxes where people have bought parcels of land from Atlas Earth, okay, and they're even color coded. Green being common, blue being rare, purple being epic, and yellow or yellowish orange being legendary. With legendary making you 4 times the rent of what a common does. So that's just the basics of that. Okay, so why am I talking about this? Okay, so that's where the game started. More than 3 years ago, the game started, and for a number of years, it was available here in the United States. Before branching out to other countries, and very basic gameplay, okay? And the game itself is based upon advertising, and that's why I call it an advertising play-to-earn platform. Almost everything within the game that you are participating in to earn Atlas bucks comes down to advertising. I pulled my phone up here. The most basic thing in-game you can do that's been around since the beginning of the game is watch an advertisement every 20 minutes to earn 2 Atlas bucks if you're here in the United States, 1 Atlas buck if you're outside of the United States. But like I said, and I'm going to continue to drive in this point, is it all comes down to advertising dollars. All these advertising dollars are coming into Atlas Reality, who runs Atlas Earth, who in turn turn some of that money around and give it back to us as landholders. Okay, so the more money they make in advertising, the more money they can turn around and feed back to the players in various ways, and the more money that can go into actual development in the game. So we'll talk a little bit more about this towards the end of the video as far as playing outside the United States. But the first big difference is, or my first big point is, the main thing you can do is watch that ad every 20 minutes and earn yourself some Atlas bucks. Now, you have the daily login bonus. Okay, you'll see this is my page. I'm getting pretty close to being to my 200 day or my 90-day bonus, which is 200 Atlas bucks. So if you're free to play, you earn 1 Atlas buck per day. You have to remember to collect it. Otherwise, your calendar will reset. Okay, and then every so often you get a nice bonus. At the end of 90 days, you get 200. Okay, at 30 days, you get 50. At 60 days, you get 80, and then at 90 days, you get 200 if you're free to play. Now, you'll also notice that on the right side, there's an Explorers Club. This is something we'll talk about here in a few minutes, but it's one of the subscription services that you can get into and pay for within the game if you want to earn extra Atlas bucks. Okay, the third most basic thing that you can do within the game is collect diamonds, which you can just walk around your neighborhood or walk around the area when you're a passenger in a car, collect them as somebody's driving you along. Don't do this when you're driving because it's dangerous. But they're located all around the map, just randomly they pop up. But the point is, you can spin the wheel as a free-to-play player 5 times per day. Now, you can spin the wheel 3 times, and generally speaking, out of those 5 spins, I make about 5 to 6 Atlas bucks per day. Once in a while, if you're lucky, then you can hit 50, you can hit 15, you can hit 8. So on average, I find that I get between 5 and 8. But you can also hit a diamond, which is not really worth any Atlas bucks, but it does get you a spin the next day. Okay, so that's the third basic thing you can do in the game to earn Atlas bucks. Now, if you're a subscriber to the previous mentioned Explorer Club, then you get up to 7, I believe. You can spin it a couple more times. Now, those last 2, I mentioned that you can spin it 3 times as long as you have diamonds. Then the last 2 in those 5, you have to watch ads for. So the next basic thing, the fourth item that you can do is, you see the grayed out boost button at the top, because I always try to stay completely boosted as long as I can. What that does is that applies whatever boost level you are at as far as your tier to your account, and basically just makes you more rent. Okay, so once again, this requires you to watch a advertisement. Now, generally speaking, if you're free to play, you can boost up to 6 hours ahead. Okay, so you don't have to constantly be watching this. You can just go back every few hours and get your boost. Now, this kind of gets into the situation of, do I need to wake up in the middle of the night and boost? You don't have to. When you start rising up and you're making more and more money, then it behooves you to do that. I personally don't wake up in the middle of the night unless we have an SRB, which is, for those that don't play, it's a super rent boost. Twice a month, everybody's boost level will go up to 50x from wherever it is. So for instance, I currently have, let's pull this phone up for a minute. I'm currently at the 7% boost level, and I have 625 parcels, but during the super rent boost, it goes up to 50 times. So you can see why it behooves me to get up in the middle, set an alarm at 2 o'clock in the morning and do my boost. So with that said, my point is, the boost button at the top of the screen is the fourth kind of basic thing you would do within the game that makes you money, makes you more money. Okay, and keep in mind, this goes back to my original statement, all of this is around advertising. Okay, because the company is making, Atlas Reality is making money from the advertisers, and then turning around and using some of that money to pay us off and making a profit off of it, some of it. Now, the next thing that you can participate in to earn Atlas bucks, let me step back for a minute and say there are some subsystems that work within the game that are basically like plugins to Atlas Earth. What we're talking about is how Atlas Earth has progressed from just a basic, hey, watch an ad, save up your Atlas bucks, and buy parcels game and collect rent, to what it is now. Okay, one of the big things here is called the AMP program. Okay, this started within the last year and a half. Okay, yes, right up front, this is one of those things that is available in the US only. Okay, so I'll give the caveat here. The game had been going in the United States for 2+ years before they were able to get the AMP program online. Okay, so one of the big talking points is, especially people out of the United States always mention the fact that, hey, the AMP program is not available in the country. Well, I like to point out that it took 2 years to get it active in the United States. So most of the countries that are active outside of the United States and Canada have come on within the last 6 months. So I like to point that out, just saying Manning has stated that they are working on it, and I think from a money perspective, if the company could have them online for all the different countries, they could. So hopefully that's something that comes in the future. But what it comes down to is every country has different credit card laws, okay? And all the countries outside, a lot of the countries outside the United States, especially those in the EU, have much stricter personal PII, personal information laws as well. So, it's a big, wide discussion, but the AMP program, if you don't know about it, is a program where you can sign up your credit card, and then if you buy anything through one of these providers, like they can be online, they can be your local sandwich shop, what have you, then you get a certain amount of Atlas bucks back. Sometimes it's a 1-for-1 match, sometimes it's a 2-for-1, 4-for-1. During the holidays, there was a lot higher specials going on, so it's a great deal if you can take advantage of it. Okay, so that's one of the subsystems I like to call, or a plugin that has come in to the game, which is, and I call it a plugin because it's run by a different company. Okay, this is a system that gives you Atlas bucks, but it's run by a different company, and it's all, once again, around advertising. Now, the next subsystem, if you will, within Atlas Earth that you can make Atlas bucks off of is the Atlas Arcade. Okay, it's one of those systems like we talk about, and I mention a lot of times, is you're more than likely going to be playing games at some point during the day on your phone anyway, so why not earn some Atlas bucks for it? So once again, these are games that are being advertised, and this is a plugin. It's run by a third-party company from Atlas Earth. You download the games, whatever games are within your catalog, and then once they go into your My Games section, you start playing through them, and you can achieve different levels. So for instance, I started playing Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus, and I've made my way through the first 2 levels and earned 28 Atlas bucks to complete the first 15 battles. And then after I achieved level 5, I got 33 Atlas bucks. And you can continue, and they're not endless. Most of them, there are different games. Some games take forever to complete. Some games are relatively pretty quick. Some games are really cool games, like this is a cool game. Some games are pretty cheesy. So you just have to look at the rewards and see if they're worth your time to you. The next way you can make Atlas bucks, if you happen to travel a decent amount of times, you can use the Atlas travel program. It's just kind of like using any other travel service online. You can check it out, and once again, it's run by a third party. And you can book your travel, and you can get a certain amount of Atlas bucks for your travel, which, obviously travel isn't cheap. So if you do this, I've never used the Atlas travel program because I just really don't travel. If I do, I just drive my truck. But if you do, like if you're a salesman or something like that, and you can take advantage of it, you could earn thousands of Atlas bucks, which you could turn around and you could buy property wherever you're at. So this is another program that's been added to the game over the last year that you could take advantage of and earn Atlas bucks. Now, most like all other free-to-play type games, they got to make their money somewhere. So there are ways you can spend money in the game. The first two I'll mention are I've mentioned before is the Atlas Explorer Club, and the second is the season pass that you can subscribe to. Okay, so the Atlas Explorer Club is $49.99 US per month. But as you could see when we went back to the daily claim bonus, it's probably the most efficient way to earn Atlas bucks if you're jumping into the game and you actually want to put money into it. It's much more efficient if you remember to go ahead and claim your 90 Atlas bucks per day. It's much more efficient than coming on the mobile or on the website and just outright buying the Atlas bucks. Okay, and at this point, I like to always mention that if you are going to buy Atlas bucks, do so on the website because you get 10% extra. It comes down to the fee. iOS, Apple, and also Android charge a fee for everything that's sold through their store. So once again, do I encourage buying Atlas bucks? It's really up to you on how do you want to play. The return time on quote unquote investment is very long. Okay, so do your math and do your homework before you go dumping a bunch of money into the game. I always like to treat this as a game and not an investment. So like I said, if you're going to turn around and put money into the game, I think that one of the subscriptions is the better choice. Now, with that said, the second subscription, which came around relatively not too long ago in November, is the season pass, which is for the challenge ladder. Okay, so I pulled my phone up. This is January's challenge ladder, and basically to work your way through the ladder, you have to do a number of different challenges, and we're not going to go into that. I've done various videos about that on that, but you can see I've completed the challenge ladder for January, and you can also see I am subscribed because I have both sides, the free and the premium, claimed, and I've done videos where I see the value in subscribing to this. Okay, so if you forward subscribe to the challenge ladder, it's $10, $9.99 a month. Okay, that means you go in, you put your credit card on it. It's just like any other subscription service. It's $9.99 a month. If you went in now and you subscribed for the $9.99 a month, then your subscription would start next month. Okay, it would start for February because we're in the middle of January now. Okay, so but they offer a $14.99 option, okay? And if you say, for instance, I did this in November, if you get into the challenge ladder and you're playing free to play and you work your way past halfway down the ladder, there's a lot of value in going ahead and just subscribing, okay? So I had completed the ladder. I got 3/4 through the ladder, and I decided, and I did the numbers, and I'm like, this would even be worth it paying the $14.99. Obviously, it would be nicer if it was just $9.99, but I went ahead and paid the $14.99. I finished off the challenge ladder, and there are some prizes for finishing off the challenge ladder. You get a free badge, which is 200 Atlas bucks worth, and you get a legendary parcel upgrade, which is almost $100 worth. Okay, so you can see the value there. That's if you feel that you can. I think that, and I've said this in another video, I think that the subscription to the challenge ladder, reward ladder is worth it if you feel that you can work your way past, like right up around the 3/4 of the way through the ladder. And we're not going to go into this in detail, but I wanted to list this because this is a way that you can earn some good Atlas bucks as well as beef up your account and continue to expand your account. The object is to get bigger and earn more money off of this, right? So this is one of the ways. So I think that without taking a full hour, I know this is some people consider this a longer form video. I've answered what the game is. It's all about advertising. Okay. Atlas Earth makes money off of advertising to us in various methods. We take part in the game and the various plugins to the game. And we basically use our time and exchange it for credit in game, which is Atlas bucks, which we turn around and buy land, which we get rent out of, and gradually over time you build up your rent. You can see that I've been playing for about 9 months, and I'm a little bit over $178. And I've got other videos where I tell you what I'm doing with it and my plans, and I'll continue to cover it. But I just wanted to do some basics right here. Once again, if you want to start playing, please use my subscription code in the comments. Do I think the game's perfect? No. It's a work in progress. Things are coming along. I'm really impressed with how far the game's come just since I've been playing in the last 9 months. You know, there's issues due to the way the game's built with all these different plug-in systems, each system being built, being run by a different third-party company. There are issues, but with that said, the company's come a long way. So, for instance, if you have a problem with the getting credit for a arcade game, you can put in a ticket and get your credit back. Same thing with AMP. They've really beefed up and improved the system where they answer tickets. Is it perfect? No. But it's a work in progress, and they've made a lot of improvements over the last year. And going forward, I like the way it's going. Okay, with all of that said, you should have a good picture of what Atlas Earth is. The last question I want to answer is, which I've had several people pose to me in the last couple weeks, is Atlas Earth worth playing in 2025? And by this point, you can probably tell that I'm going to say yes, because if I didn't feel like it was worth it, I wouldn't be playing myself. Okay, so first of all, this has got to be the one play-to-earn app that I play consistently over the last 9 months, and I've made the most money out of it. Okay, it's really a no-brainer to me. We've explained how the company makes the money off of us. It's basically advertising, and then they turn around and a certain percentage of that is given back to us in rent. Okay, so there's a lot I didn't cover in this, but that's the basics, and it should tell you. To me, it's a no-brainer to say that I have not seen anything in my play that would say that this is a scam or it's a ripoff or anything like that. I will say, and I'll reiterate, that I have not come out of my pocket to buy any land in Atlas Earth or any Atlas bucks. Okay, everything I've done in this game has been using virtual rent I've earned off of the game. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Okay, so in November, when the challenge ladder started that we just talked about, I came out of my virtual rent and I used some of that money that I earned to go ahead and subscribe to the ladder because I saw value in getting that free badge. I saw value in getting all those extra over 1,200 Atlas bucks extra a month, as well as getting the free parcel upgrade, which gives you it's a skin. It gives you some extra artwork to throw on your land. Plus it upgrades a common to a legendary. Now, is that worth outright buying a legendary for the 2,500? Not in my opinion. But if you subscribe to the challenge ladder and you finish it off, guess what? You get one. So that's where the value is. So is it worth playing in 2025 from that aspect and from what I've seen? And from what the news that the company has put out, the rate of expansion that the game has went through in 2024 is amazing to me. Okay, I cover a number of different games, and the rate the game expanded this past year, the number of countries that are online with it now, albeit a difference in play from the United States, and we can go over that in a different video, but at least you're online and you can start playing, right? Manning has went over in a recent live stream that they've got the situation in hand to where the plan will allow them to bring one new country online on average per month in 2025. Check that out, okay? And I just saw in I believe it was in Discord today, he mentioned that Japan's getting ready to go live, okay? So Japan, South Korea are next on the list, and then we have some Brazil, I believe, is next after that. So we have a number, but anyway, they are saying they're going to bring on average, one new country per month in 2025. And if you didn't catch the video, check my backlog of videos. There are a number of other updates and new things going into the game this year. I'm really psyched about it. So, so that's straightforward. I'm going to continue playing Atlas Earth. I'm going to continue covering it on this channel. And if you're not playing right now, why aren't you? This has been Bronze Dragon. I hope everyone's got a 2025 off to a good start. And I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And hey, I'll see you in Atlas Earth.